present and future perfect. So I have taken only this tense because this is most confusing. So today we will be dealing with past, present and future perfect. So let's get started. So first let's understand what is perfect tense. So perfect का मतलब क्या है? The word perfect when referring to grammar, it comes from the Latin word perfectum, which means complete. So perfect का grammar में मतलब है complete, कोई भी action जो complete हो चुका है. So perfect tenses they always refer to a completed action. So they refer to completed actions. Perfect is equal to completed. Before, what before means that I'll tell you later. So perfect tense का मतलब है कोई भी action जो है वो complete हो चुका है. Now let's read further. So now first we have present perfect. So I have taken all these three diagrams together so that we can compare. हम हर एक डायग्राम को कंपेयर करेंगे एंड देन हमें ज़्यादा अच्छी से समझ आएगा what is the difference between perfect, present, then past perfect and future perfect. Now present perfect कहाँ यूज होता है? Present perfect यूज होगा something happened, that is the action in the past, that is before present. Present से पहले जो action है वो हो चुका है. The exact time is not important but the action is related to the present. ये इंपॉर्टेंट है. नाउ सपोज ये डायग्राम से समझते हैं. सो दिस इज द प्रेजेंट पॉइंट. सो कोई भी एक्शन जो पास्ट में शुरू हुआ है, इट हैज हैपेंड, इट हैज कंप्लीटेड देयर, बट एग्जैक्ट टाइम व्हेन इट स्टार्टेड, व्हेन इट कंप्लीटेड, दैट इज नॉट नोन. पर ये जो एक्शन है वो प्रेजेंट के साथ रिलेटेड है. सो देन उस केस में हम प्रेजेंट परफेक्ट यूज करेंगे. आई विल बी टेकिंग अप एग्जाम्पल्स लेटर ऑन. देन नेक्स्ट केस है फॉर रिसेंटली कंप्लीटेड एक्शंस. सो ये ग्रीन पार्ट, ये ग्रीन क्रॉस जो रिसेंटली, प्रेजेंट के बहुत पास, रिसेंटली कंप्लीट हुआ है एक्शन, सो वहां पे भी हम प्रेजेंट परफेक्ट यूज करेंगे. एंड द लास्ट कंडीशन इज फॉर एक्शंस बिगिनिंग इन द पास्ट एंड स्टिल कंटिन्यूइंग. सो कोई भी ऐसा एक्शन जो बिगिन तो पास्ट में हुआ है लेकिन वो अभी भी चल रहा है, सो वहां पे भी हम प्रेजेंट परफेक्ट यूज करेंगे. सो ये तीन कंडीशंस है प्रेजेंट परफेक्ट की. एग्जांपल्स आई विल बी टेकिंग आफ्टर दिस स्लाइड. नाउ पास्ट परफेक्ट कहाँ पे यूज करना है? So past perfect, an action that is completed before a special time of time in the past. Sorry. So if this line is representing past, so here of course is present and future. So an action that is completed before a special point of time in the past. Now if you remember, यहाँ हमने present में किया कि exact time is not important. लेकिन यहाँ पास्ट में कोई स्पेशल पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम होगा जब वो एक्शन कंप्लीट हुआ है, तो वहां पे हमने पास्ट परफेक्ट यूज करना है. सपोज कोई ईयर दिया हुआ है इन ईयर 1947, सो एक स्पेशल पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम है, सो वहां पे पास्ट परफेक्ट आएगा. देन सेकेंड कंडीशन, एन एक्शन कंप्लीटेड बिफोर अनदर एक्शन स्टार्टेड. पास्ट में दो एक्शंस हो रहे हैं, एक एक्शन कंप्लीट हुआ, उसके बाद एक और एक्शन शुरू हुआ. सो जो एक्शन पहले शुरू होके खत्म हुआ है वहां पे पास्ट परफेक्ट यूज करना है, और जो एक्शन बाद में हो रहा है वहां पे सिंपल पास्ट यूज करना है. सो दिस वी नीड टू remember. So these are the two cases where we will be using past perfect. So first is an action that is completed before a special point of time in the past. Special time is given there. Present perfect में time is not important. The only thing important is that action is related to the present. ये present point से ये जो action है ये वाला किसी ना किसी तरह से relate करेगा. Then an action completed before another action started. So two actions are there in the past. The first action to happen and complete, there we will be using past perfect, और जो second action है वहां पे simple past use होगा. Now we come to future perfect. अब future perfect में क्या होगा? One action predicted to be complete before a certain time in the future. So since perfect का मतलब है कि action ने complete होना है, so ये present है अगर, तो future में action predict हुआ है. So obviously when it is future, so you are predicting कि ये ऐसा होगा, ये ऐसा या होने वाला है. So it will be complete before a certain time given in the future. So future में भी कोई time दिया होगा, उस time से पहले वो action complete हो जाएगा. Then second condition is an action completed in the future before another action started. So this is also similar to the past tense case, but this will happen in the future and this will happen in the past. So जब ये future में होगा, so same condition लगेगी. जो action पहले शुरू होके खत्म होगा वहां पे हम यूज करेंगे future perfect और बाद वाले एक्शन में सिंपल प्रेजेंट यूज करेंगे. सो नाउ दीज आर द रूल्स. नाउ आई विल टेक अप एग्जांपल्स वन बाय वन अलोंग विद द स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ present perfect, past perfect and future perfect. Now this is present perfect. So this is the structure: subject plus has or have, then past participle and then the object or the remaining sentence. So this is for present perfect. Now words that indicate present perfect. So there are certain words. If you find those words in a sentence, so it will give you a hint, it will give you a clue. तो तुम्हें एक अंदाजा हो जाएगा कि इस sentence में present perfect use होना है. So वो words हैं just, yet, never, already, ever, so far, up to now, recently, since or for. सो ये वर्ड्स अगर सेंटेंस में हैं तो फिर हमें ये अंदाजा हो जाएगा कि यहाँ पे हमने प्रेजेंट परफेक्ट लगाना है. नाउ ऑल्सो द सेंटेंसेस विच हैव लेटली, टुडे, येट, this week or several, etc. So there also we will be using present perfect. Now for example, I have these three sentences. I have got the job. So this sentence means that she has the job now. So I have got the job. So it is related to present. So if I go back, this is the first case. Something that has happened in the past, but it is related to present. So I have a job. So job उसे past में मिला, but present moment she has that job. So it is related to the present. Now second case, he has just eaten his breakfast. So just. So we have these words here. So in case there is just in a sentence, then there is a guess for you that you have to use present perfect. So he has just eaten his breakfast. Then they have lived in the USA since 1990. So again, since. So if we have since, we have to use they have lived in the USA since 1990. And this is the third case also here for actions that are beginning in the past and still continuing. So this started living in the US in 1990, but they are still living there. So these are the three examples of present perfect case for every condition. Now we move on to past perfect. So the structure here is subject, had, plus past participle, that is the third form of the verb, and then the remaining sentence. Now here the example that I have taken, let's read the example. Rain had stopped when Neha came out. So this is for the first condition where two actions are happening. So it was raining, maybe it was raining, but when this person in the present time is referring to Neha, she says that rain had stopped when Neha came out. So first action is rain had stopped. That is the first action. And second action is Neha came out. So in the first case, we will be using past perfect, and in the second case, we will be using simple past. So first action, rain had stopped. That is in past perfect. And second action is Neha, she came out. So then we are using here simple past. So I hope that it is clear now. Now she is speaking at a moment and both the actions they have happened in the past. So दोनों actions जो है वो past में हुए हैं, लेकिन जो पहला action है उसमें हम past perfect use करेंगे और जो बाद में हुआ है उसमें हम use करेंगे simple present. Now next example is, I could not remember the lesson that we had learned the week before. Now here again, I could not remember the lesson that we had learned. So week before, we come to know that something has happened in the past. So that we had learned the week before. Now let's see these two conditions here. An action that is completed before another action started. So this we have done. The rain had stopped when Neha came. Now the first one example is the action completed before a special point of time in the past. So special point of time here is week before. So I could not remember the lesson that we had learned the week before. Now we move on to future perfect. So here the structure is subject plus will have plus past participle and the object. So यहाँ पे will have use होगा. Past के केस में हमने use किया था had plus V3, that is the third form. And in present we have used has or have with V3. So I will have posted the letter by tomorrow. So again, there is a period or the time that is given. So I will have posted the letter by tomorrow, a time in future reference. Then second example is by the time you return home, you will have spent much time in Africa. Now, again, there are two actions taking place. So the action that happened first, they will be using future perfect, and in the action that happens afterward, they will be using simple present. So by the time you return home, you will have spent much time in Africa. So this is happening first. So therefore here we are using future perfect. You will have spent much time in Africa. So by the time you return home, this is in simple present. Return is in simple present. So I hope that all the rules are clear now. This is the easiest way to learn the perfect tenses. Simple perfect. That means present perfect, past perfect and the future perfect. Now the tip is that in case of words like yesterday, the previous day, last night or the year before, we use simple past. So in case the sentences is having these words like yesterday, previous day, last night, so use simple past in those cases. Now this is the exercise. I have taken up 10 sentences. I'll be explaining the answers also. So first you can attempt these 10, jot down the answers, and after that move on to the answers that I will show. These are the 10 questions based on perfect tenses. Simple perfect tenses, that is present perfect, past perfect and future perfect. So you can pause here, solve these and then move on to the answers. So now I begin with the answers. The first one. The Prerna NGO is trying to collect money to start a new wing for orphans by the end of the year, the NGO. So by the end of the year, there's a reference to future. So that means here we will be using future perfect tense. So by the end of the year, the NGO will have raised enough money for the same. So the verb form that is given in the bracket, we have to use its correct form. Now next sentence. Yesterday at a cafe, I saw Samira, an old friend of mine. I had not seen her for years. So yesterday we come to know that something of past reference. So I saw here, since it is yesterday, so here simple past has already come. So yesterday at the cafe, I saw Samira, an old friend of mine. So now after this, the second thing that is happening, it has happened before that. So I had not seen her for years. So here we have past perfect. So I hope it is clear to you now. So you have to see the timeline. Something that is happening before a recent action, there you have to use perfect tense. So जो भी चीज एक एक्शन से पहले हो रही है, सो जो पहले वाली चीज है वहां पे पास्ट परफेक्ट यूज होना है. जैसे समायरा को उसने कल देखा, लेकिन शी इज रेफरिंग कि बहुत देर से नहीं देखा. तो जो पहले वाला है वहां पे हम पास्ट परफेक्ट यूज करेंगे. सो आई हैड नॉट सीन हर फॉर years. At first, I didn't recognize her because she had gained at least 20 kilos. Now, here again, why had? यहाँ पे because it is referring to something that has already happened. यहाँ पे जो recent part है वहाँ पे आ गया है simple past. So at first I didn't recognize her because she had gained at least 20 kilos. So this thing has happened before this thing. Now we come to third. So this car dash in our family for 15 years. My father drove it for the first 5 years, my brother used it for the next five, and I dash it for the last five. Now, what does this mean? When we read the sentence, can we judge from here whether it is in past or it is referring to something that is in the present? So, this car dash in our family for 15 years. So since or for, if you remember, so present perfect we have to use there. So this car has been in our family for 15 years. My father drove it for the first 5 years. My brother, this is now referring to past, but this thing is still there. The car is in the family, still it is in the family. So my brother used it for the next five, and I dash it for the last five. So for the last five, this person is having the car. It is still continuing. So here we have I have had, because here this had, it is referring to possession. So I have had it for the last five. So I hope these three are clear. Now I move on to the next ones. The fourth one. So last year there's reference past. So I experienced, this is in simple past. So how tiring long plane trips could be. I had flown in an airplane for fairly long distances before. So this thing is happening before this. So that is why here we have used past perfect. So distances before that, but never as long as when I. So two things are happening. The thing that is happening first, there we have to use past perfect, and the recent one we will be using simple past. So but never as long as when I went to Germany. Sorry, went should come here. Went to Germany last April. Now fifth, he heard that his aunt. So heard is a recent thing, that his aunt had arrived. So she arrived, after that he heard it. So that is why the first action that is taking place, there we will be using past perfect, and the second action that we there will be using past simple past, sorry. Now next, Raman dash. So in the bracket we have already and waste all his money on drinks. So this word already, it again gives us a hint that way we have to use here present perfect. So Raman has already wasted all his money on drinks. Next, he dash before I reached his place. So again two things happening. So here we have to use past perfect. So he had left before I reached his place. Next, the children dash their homework by now. So by now, it is a future reference. So the children will have finished their homework by now. Next, the students performed all the activities. Now again, these are two actions. They performed all the activities we had planned for them. Now last one, it dashed twice this week. So something that has relation to present. So the present week that is being talked about. So that means it is again present perfect. So it has rained twice this week. So I hope that all this is clear. The perfect tenses, simple perfect, that means present perfect, past perfect, and future perfect is clear to you, and you will be able to solve these examples or these questions in your exam. So that's all for today. You subscribe for more such worksheets and check the playlist where I'll have added all the syllabus related content for class 10. Links, they are in the description box. So bye for now and happy preparation.